I'm just gonna start. All right. The webinar is now getting recorded and we're good to go. Hey, Lionel, you're driving and you're just listening. No worries. We'll answer any questions that you have. Uh, Please be careful when you're driving. Uh, um, Tawny is here. All right. Okay, we'll just wait for like a couple of minutes for a few more people to join. In the meantime, why don't all of you just type in where you're coming from in the chat? I'll introduce myself in a minute as well. Hey, Linda from Sweden. Yes, we will. We are recording the session and we will send you the links to view it afterwards using Gumlet.
Hi there.
Paul from Texas. All right. Sonia from Michigan. Michigan, sorry. My sister lives in Texas. Okay, we have one more person waiting. She lives in Sugartown near Houston. No one in Michigan. Yes, we will be sending the screen recording. Uh, Oxford is from Lionel is from Oxford, Mississippi. All right. I hear it's freaking cold over there. Cool. I think it's a good time to start. We have a couple of more messages. All right. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. I am Vaibhav. I work in the product marketing team with Gumlet. With me today, we have a couple of people from Gumlet as well. We have Devesh, he's the co-founder, and he heads the entire marketing and sales side of things at Gumlet. And during the session or after the session, if you have any questions around the topic of today's conversation or any other questions at all around Gumlet and getting into Gumlet through AppSumo, Devesh is here and he'll answer all of your questions. Nisha is here too. Nisha works with me and she's put this whole thing together. So thank you, Nisha, for that. All right, now getting into why we're here today, I just want to start by saying thank you so much for trusting us with your videos. We are happy to help. We love setting up videos and we love everything to do with videos. Uh, we are a few years into it now, and we have a long way to go. Um, I might miss a chat because I'll be sharing my screen. So in that case, Nisha or Divesh, can you just ping me if there is a message or if there's a question or something?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Awesome.
So I'll answer most of the questions directly into the chat. But if I feel like any question is can have a on-screen component, and if showing the answer on the screen might be better, I'll let you know, whatever. And in that case, we can answer that on screen. Otherwise, I'll try to answer most of the question in chat directly.
Okay. That's awesome. Just doing a check. I've shared my screen. Can everyone see the screen? Everything is okay?
Yes,
Yes.
good to go.
All right, all right. So we're here today essentially to talk about the Gumlet video player. We'll talk about how there are different ways you can customize a video player. We'll talk about how to add your branding on the video player, and in the second half of the webinar, we'll cover video embed and video sharing. So anything and everything you need to know about all of these things, we're here and we're here to help. I'll quickly run through the flow of the webinar. We'll start with the customizable video player. We'll get into the settings and the demo. We have a few video players ready for you to show you. We'll then get into video embeds, and the same thing, we'll do a dashboard walkthrough. Please feel free to interrupt with all any questions that you have, and we'll be happy to answer. Mm. All right. Cool. So the first thing's about the Gumlet's customizable video player. Just getting the basics out of the way. It is an ad-free customizable video player that is very versatile. There are a lot of different ways that you can use it. In fact, if you have a use case, uh, most likely or not, you will be able to get it done with the Gumlet player. And when I talk about use cases, what I mean is, let's say something from as simple as showing a video on a website to shoppable videos on, let's say, your e-commerce site, or you want to add a video to the background of your Windows, sorry, a background of your website, and you don't want it to have any of the player features or anything. So we do those kind of things as well. Anything and everything basically you need from the video player, we have available. Um, there are a lot of customizations that we have ready to go, such as things like preload, autoplay, loop. These are things that you can set very easily with a Gumlet video player. There are a lot of other advanced customizations that we'll go into as well when I go get you going with the dashboard that we have. One very big advantage of using the Gumlet video player is that if you use the Gumlet's video player, all the analytics, the video analytics that you need to capture for your videos is automatically captured and populated on your analytics screens on your dashboard. So we understand that some of you might need a separate video player for specific reasons, and you might be using them. And in that case, we do have APIs and SDKs in place to pull the analytics from those from your own video player. But if you want to go with the no code way, then just use the Gumlet player, and all the data that you need is collected out of the box. You can get in if you're like, let's say if you're an agency, or if you are like a media house that needs to add advertisements, video advertisements to your video, then we also have options to add VAS tags. And in case you want to integrate it with your marketing suite, then you can add the FB and Google Analytics pixel IDs as well. These are all the different things that you can go do with the Gumlet video player. I'll take a small break over here. If there are any questions, if there's anything to talk about, we can take a minute. If not, then I'll jump right into the dashboard.
Yeah, we can go to the dashboard, Viva.
All right. So once you get into the Gumlet dashboard, I guess the last webinar that we had yesterday, we talked about how to add your videos from different places and how to set up a video library. So I'll not get too much into details from that, but it's pretty simple. You just go to the video library under video, you add a video or you create a new collection. It's all over here. Once you are in this, once you are in your video library, there's a small button over here called the player settings. You go hit that, and all the player settings that you need, they're all set up over here. I will also give you a different view once to see how your video actually looks uh, from the Gumlet dashboard. So if you go to any particular video, and if you open the video settings page, then the things that you can, everything that you need to set up on your video is right over here. And you also get the player view right here. So it is very easy for you to figure that this is what the player is going to look like, and all the changes that you make are going to be visible over here. To very quickly run through the things that are available to add, we have thumbnails. You can add subtitles and captions. You can add video chapters. You can add CTA buttons. There's a small video privacy bit over here, but we'll cover that in an upcoming webinar, not today. And other functions that you need for your video. Going back to the player settings page, so the basic settings are pretty set over here, and they're very self-explanatory as well. You want a video to preload when the page loads. What that does is it helps the video to start very, very quickly when somebody hits play. Uh, What I'm showing you right now are the default settings that are usually on in all the Gumlet videos out of the box. So this is the default player settings that you're going to see and that you're going to be able to run with. Even if you don't tinker any settings and just use the player as it is, these are the settings that you get. Cool. So you can also autoplay your video, include the SEO metadata. SEO metadata is something that you can add in the video settings page. You can set up loop. You can also add a download button if you if you want your users to download your videos from your platform. Uh, Advanced settings have things that are in play when it comes to how the player box looks itself. So if you see you can disable the seek bar, you can disable player controls. um, there's a powered by Gumlet button over here. You can allow DRM protected videos. You can show captions automatically. You can turn this on and off. You can also add dynamic watermarks over here, and you can simply just set up what you want to set up over here, and you can go with it. All the player branding things are over here as well. You can simply add a logo image URL. You can set the position for where you want the logo to go, add the logo width, the height, the player color. This is all the branding options that you have for the video player. And at the very bottom, you have the advertising and monetization bit in place, where you can add your Facebook pixel ID or your GA tag or your VAS tag URL. Now, I'm going to start showing you what these players actually look like with the different settings on and off. So let's say the default player that that I was showing you right now, and I think Devesh is gonna. I should be able to share the links. I don't think I've shared them with Devesh. I'll
No,
just
no,
share the links with.
I have started sharing them in chat. I have the
Okay,
links.
okay, awesome. So this is what the default player settings look like, and when you go to the default player, this is exactly what it looks like. So right now, I'm going to show you just like a bunch of things that are there. As you see, the header of the title of the video is over here. The description of the video is over here as well. Right now, preload is on, but autoplay is not on, and because of that, you'll have to hit the play button for the video to start. You can see I've already set up the chapters, so the chapters are in place over here as well. Cities are here as well, and yep, Rickroll. Uh, all right, so the chapters are there, CTA is there. Sorry, I was hearing like two voices. I was hearing the video as well. Um, yeah, so this is the default Gumlet player with chapters, CTAs, and panning in place. Uh, a different video player, this is the second one. Over here, if you see, this is all the player settings inverted. So what that means is we have preload off, but we have autoplay on, we have loop on, we have seek bar and player controls on. Dynamic watermarks is off, and logo and branding is also custom. I've also used a different way to show how the description can be added to the videos. And you can see that over here. So you'll see the video gets over and it starts right over. Uh, the logo is over here on top. The seek bar and everything else is here. The branding is custom. Everything you can see, we have seen the colors. You will see everything is yellow. The settings over here shows the speed and quality, and everything is in place. Yeah, Devesh.
Vaibhav, let's go a little bit slow and show a side-by-side comparison one by one setting. So that's one of the feedback we received in the last webinar, that we go a little bit too fast. So if we just slow down a little bit and compare like what the setting looks like for the previous video and what the setting looks like for this video, that would be better.
All right. And by the way, typically I tend to speak very fast. So yeah, thanks, Devesh, for that. I'll do that. So comparing settings in the two different players that we have right now, I think you can see how you can add like the description, everything in a different way. From within the player itself, this is what it will look like with chapters clearly marked out. Within the chapters, you can also add what you want the chapter to say. Over here, I've added CH2. This is CH3 and CH4 and so on. But you can also change it to whatever it is that you want. The seek bar is also visible, as you can see, like when I hover over the videos, you'll be able to see the frame of that particular second. The CTA again is customizable completely. You can change what you want the CTA to say. You can change the background of the CTA, and you can also decide where you want the CTA to be, in what like the what corner you want it to be, on top or the bottom. You can also figure out, you can also add when you want the CTA to pop out.
The third video in there, Vaibhav. This extra video. The third one.
Yeah. So yeah, you can change the label, you can add the URL, you can add what the time when you want the CTA to pop, the position, the font, the color, etc. Also a small thing like open a new tab. Um, the chapters you can add over here. You can add, you can change this over here, and you can just keep adding as many chapters as you want. As set the time over here, and that's how you do it. And this is what it will eventually look like, the final version of it. Doing a comparison with the second uh, player, you see over here, autoplay is on. So what happens is if I restart, I'll just reload the page once. As soon as the page loads, the video will just start automatically. I've added a logo in this one, so you can see the logo over here. Again, the logo size and the logo settings and everything can be customized as well. Uh, Loop video is on that we already saw. Uh, Logo and branding custom is also something that we saw. These small tweaks like changing the color, these are things that obviously you can set up very easily, and you can roll with.
So by default, Gumlet player has a little G on the bottom right corner showing that it's a video from Gumlet, like how video from YouTube or video from Vimeo might have. This can be disabled. If we go into settings, Vaibhav, we have to change the video collections and then go to player settings. That's not fine. No, I mean, I want to show the how we added a different logo. Can we change the collection itself to the
Oh,
one we
acha,
were?
got it.
Yeah,
Huh.
yeah. Yes. And yeah. So here, yeah. So this is how we added a URL to a different logo. We decided where to show it, what size, and the color of the player. One thing I would like to note is that the player settings are on a collection level. So as you saw, how we just did it right now. If you want your player to look different for different applications. So an example of that could be, let's say you run an e-commerce site and you want a background video on your home page, which does not show anything on the player. So that video will need to be in a different collection versus, let's say, there is a product video where you want to add, where you want there to be the player color, etc. So those things will need to sit in a different collections. Yeah.
Can you please
Yeah.
repeat the last one? I didn't understand exactly the use case that you were describing.
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
Uh, Can you repeat the use case that you were describing just before? Because I didn't got it. I didn't understand it.
Okay, okay. Divesh, you're talking about the different collections for different player settings. Can you explain that
Yes.
again?
Yes. So let's say you want to use two different kinds of players on your website. So for example, one video is on a website background where you don't want any player to be there. I'm sharing an example in the chat.
This is a
Yeah. So let's say, yeah. So you want to have a video like this, which does not show any player as is shown in the screen. And you want another video, which is different kind, which could be, let's say, on a product page, where you want the player to appear so that the user can pause or fast forward or control the volume, etc. In those case, you need to have two different collections so that you can have two different player settings. Player settings are tied to collections. So like the same collections can't have two different kind of players.
A different way of explaining this would be collection is basically like a workspace, and the player settings that you set for a particular workspace, all the videos in that workspace look that way. So if you want a player that looks different for a few different videos, then you will have to create a different collection, and you will have to change the player settings so that those videos look how you want them to look under a different collection. Does that help?
Yes, yes, it does help. It's
Okay,
uh,
thank you.
it's clear. One thing I haven't understood is you say that you have two different layers. Uh, how do we, where do we decide that we use one player or the other player?
Oh,
This
no, no.
is
We have only one player. You can customize the player and change it however you like.
okay. And in the way I will customize it in one workspace, it will have to be the same all through.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. The last bit I wanted to show was dynamic watermarks in action. You see over here, the one in the bottom. Uh, this dynamic watermark, when we toggle it on, it essentially a dynamic watermark is one which keeps changing its position as the video is playing. And the reason for that is it is better that way to prevent screen recordings, because nobody can essentially erase that particular side, like can erase like a fixed part, because the watermark is always changing. So that is something that you can set up for the player settings as well. I think that is all of the player settings covered. Is there anything that I might have missed? Anything from the Gumlet team or any questions from somebody else?
Just a couple of things. So one, the no player thing, I think that settings are pending, and audio only uh, is pending.
Okay, okay. Huh. Um, so this is the new player setting. So what we have done over here essentially is just give me a second. What we have done over here essentially is we have put the video on autoplay. We have disabled the seek bar and disabled the player controls. And with that, essentially, the video will just start on its own and keep playing. And the user on your website or your application, it will not feel like that it's like that. You can essentially click on it and pause it, but there is no seek bar or there are no controls in place. So you can also control the video and make it look that way. Uh, and that again is something that you can set up from the player settings over here. Um, I think that is it for, yeah, I think if the loop and autoplay is on and if the seek bar and player controls are off, then we essentially get a no player look for the video. This one. Divesh, can you share the audio file link with me? I don't have it.
Yes, I'll do.
Just add it to the chat. I'll get take
Yes,
care of
yes,
it.
done.
Yeah, this is essentially like an audio file that can be played with this. You can set whatever, you can set like a thumbnail
Hmm.
for the video as well. So you can essentially create what you want for the background. Yeah. All right. I'll take a moment if there are any questions around player settings. Did I miss anything from the chat?
The only thing I would like to ask is when you download a video, is there any way to ask for the email of the person who downloads and name, etc.? Or they just press it and download?
No, we do not collect names and email IDs specifically for the download button on the video player right now. But I think that is something that you'll have to set up individually on your end. Devesh, is that correct?
Yes. I mean, we can take a feature request there, but as of now, we don't have.
I think it's a very, uh, very important to implement this for the user, because that's why, someone will have the interest for giving three videos to being downloaded in order to get mails, and it's like giving away any book. Okay.
Yeah, we'll take that feedback. We'll add a request to the team as well. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
Cool. So before I move on to the embed and share part of the webinar, if there are any questions around video player, uh, I'll just take a minute. Uh, okay, we have a few questions here. One is from Paul. I use Descript for video editing, and its underlord AI feature will product a list of chapters and chapter titles. Can I upload the list to Gumlet, or do I need to enter the chapters and headings one by one? Chapters are also listed in the YouTube video description. Are they imported with the YouTube video?
Well, I've answered that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's move on to embed and share then. Uh, so once you're done tinkering with all of your settings for your video, you set up the player how you want it. You set up the video protection features how you want it. That webinar is coming soon. By the way, we are setting it up on Monday, the video protection webinar. Then the next step is essentially putting your video out there into the world. And there are multiple ways of sharing your videos with Gumlet. We have everything that you would essentially need. We have URLs, we have streaming URLs, we have embed codes, we have iframely support, we have embed support and embedly support. Um, we do embedded emails, and we have a bunch of things bunch of customizations in place to set these things up as well. I'll jump right into it. The way to access your video sharing is essentially from here, and the video settings page, the publishing options over here. There's an embed code, there's embedded email, and there's URLs. If you go to embed code over here, you can configure a few simple things that you would want when you copy the embed code itself: autoplay loop, disable controls. You can add the vast text, the player settings essentially that you wanted to that you could have set previously. You can set it up over here as well. You can simply copy the embed code over here, and the entire embed code is copied. You can paste it on your WordPress or your Wix or your Medium or wherever else it is that you need to put the embed code. Um, is quite we've simplified it completely. All you have to do is simply copy and paste the embed code. Second is embedded email. We have a bunch of email providers that you can work with just taking an example of Gmail, and you can set the thumbnail size, and you can add the link that you want to add over here. And to give you a sample of what that looks like, you can set the parameters of how the video looks, but essentially this is what it looks like. And when you hit it, it essentially opens a page, and the video can be accessed. The third is the streaming URLs. Now, let's say, suppose you don't, you for a specific reason, you don't want to use the Gumlet player, and you want to use a video player of your own. And in that case, we are okay with that as well. And for that, we have the thumbnail and the M3U8, which is the HLS streaming URL over here as well. You can simply copy and paste the thumbnail and the HLS URL with your player, and the video will play as good as it would play anywhere else. Uh, if you see, if you are able, like, if you notice how I was showing you all of these different players before, this share is essentially the video share feature that we have. It is the simplest way to share a video. You essentially take the link and you share the link, and when the link is pasted in the browser, it essentially opens the video. And this is another way that we share videos using Gumlet. All right. I think I've covered everything. We also wanted to cover the WordPress video plugin, but it's a very new feature, so we'll need a little bit of internal training as well. So we'll cover it in the upcoming webinars. And that WordPress video plugin is another way that you can share your videos specifically for WordPress websites. I'll take a break again for Embed and share if there are any questions or if there's anything to add, Devesh, from your end.
Um, no, I think we are fine. There is a question from um, uh, Lionel about what's the difference between video player and video channel. I'm just preparing a channel URL. Just give me a second. I'll check.
Okay. Yeah, in the meantime, if there is any other question from anybody else, please feel free to ask. We have essentially covered the different ways you can customize the Gumlet video player, and we have covered how you can embed and from where you can set up the embed codes, and you can embed and share your videos using Gumlet. If you have any questions outside of this as well, please feel free to ask them as well.
Yeah, one thing I would like to share is that whenever you make a change to the video player, or let's say you change the chapters or subtitles or something like that, please note that it will take up to 10 to 15 minutes for our internal systems to clear the cache and show the video with the updated settings to you. Um,
There's a question from WordPress plugin should work flawlessly with a streaming site like mine, sun2live.com. Sunny, yeah, essentially the WordPress plugin will make it very easy for you to integrate Gumlet video with the website. Uh, the webinar, I think on Tuesday, is the one where we'll be covering the WordPress plugin. So do tune in for that.
Personally, if there are not uh, any more questions from other people, I think it would be more helpful if you show how to, not just to describe what it can do, because someone just having a look on the settings, more or less, I mean, we can have an idea of what is possible. The problem is how to do it.
Uh, I'm sorry, can you repeat your question? I missed it. Is
Yes,
there
I
anything
say
specific? Yeah, anything specific that we need help with?
uh, generally, I mean, yesterday as well, I asked for the same thing.
The video
Uh,
channel?
eh?
Video channel?
No, no. Even yesterday, I had the same request of having of showing examples of how to do it, not just describing what is possible. Because what is possible, more or less, I can gather it by having a look on the settings. So this doesn't really help me very much. If you show, I do this and this, as an example, giving a lot of examples, this would be much more useful, at least for me. I don't know how the other participants feel about this request.
We will take that feedback very seriously and we'll integrate in the next webinar as well. In the meantime, we have a few tutorial videos that we have set up already, and we will be happy to share it with you. Those are step by steps that you can essentially use to get things done on the Gumlet platform.
Okay,
Um, yeah.
if you let me know, I mean, this step-by-step videos, I will very much appreciate.
Yes, we are working on that series. So we have a few videos ready and a few more are in process. So we'll share it with the recordings of the webinar.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, can you hey Sunny, can you elaborate by what you mean with the new streaming features you guys just enabled? By streaming features, do you mean anything specific? We enabled live streaming recently. Is that what it you mean? Brian, we'll compile all the webinar links and we'll share them with you over email.
Yeah, we'll create a Gumlet channel with all the webinars and we'll share them. There are webinars from last year and so we keep doing webinars as and when we do an AppSumo launch because a lot of new customers come into Gumlet. But past webinars, I would not recommend you to go and see them, except maybe the one about DRM. They are on our YouTube channel, by the way. Our YouTube channel has webinars, or there's a community on Gumlet that has webinars. But uh, Gumlet's dashboard, we keep improving the user flow. So some of the things that are shown in the past webinar, the user flow of that, how to do that might be changed. So that's why I would recommend that uh, uh, we'll share with since you have registered, you will get an email about this webinar and that this webinar recording, and it will be a channel, Gumlet channel, on which all of the relevant webinars will be updated.
Cool. Sonia, I think you were mentioning the live streaming. Yeah, we have a live streaming webinar in pipeline already. It should be happening sometime next week, and yeah, we'll drop you there'll be an email with the information for that as well. Divish, you were setting up the link for the channel, right?
Yeah, so this is one of the reason why we don't do live setting changes in this is because the caching takes time. So I'm just
Right,
waiting
right,
for the
right.
cache to clear. It hasn't been 10 minutes. So
Cool. All right.
oh,
You know,
actually, no, no, wait a second. I have a different channel. Why I'm forgetting. Let's forget about creating a new channel. I have a channel which has links. I'll share that channel in a minute.
all right. If anybody has any other questions in the meantime, outside of the topic as well, around Gumlet and around anything at all, feel free to ask us. We'll be happy to help.
Well, uh, as I said yesterday as well, because I come from the educational field, I think it could be a very good idea if you add a uh, few more, how can you say, features or uh, uh, more towards helping the educational interested clients of yours, like me, make the videos much more interactive with the students. This is
Uh,
something forward.
So in fact, course creators are a very big segment of people who use Gumlet, and we have a lot of features in play in the pipeline already that improves the security specifically so that the videos can be protected well. And we have a few things in the pipeline for in terms of like adding more interactive elements to the video player as well, but that I believe is going to take some time. However, if you have very specific requests that you would want to see implemented within Gumlet, then that specific feedback will be really, really appreciated. Do drop us the specific features that you are looking for. That will help us understand the requirements as well. The Cool, Divesh, you want to run through the video channels first as well?
Yes, I mean we just need to show difference between like a single Gumlet embedded player or a single share page and a channel. What's the difference? And what channels can be used for, etc. So yeah, please go ahead, take it ahead.
Okay, got it. So,
So this is
the
for Lionel's question. This answers for Lionel's question. So yeah, please go ahead.
all right, all right. I think the question was, how is the video share different from the video channel, right? So, Lionel, I'll jump into it. This is what a video share looks like. It is essentially just one video with the video's title and the video's description in place. However, a video channel is essentially like a landing page where you can make people, where you can create different playlists and you can add those playlists on the video channel. And that way, you can essentially make sure that all of your videos are displayed in one place. And you can categorize them as well, as you can see over here. Um it will essentially work the same way that you would want it to work. You would hit play and it would open. And as you can see, like all the other player videos that are added to the same player, to the same playlist, they just like come in sequentially below it. So the person can essentially start playing one video and then like move forward. I think there are a lot of small options about autoplay and all of that also. So channels and channel membership is also something that we'll be covering. There's a separate webinar that we have set up only for channel memberships because there are a lot of new things that we have added, like collecting email IDs and names, etc. So channel has a lot more functionality in terms of what you can do with it versus the video share page. Is there anything else that I might have missed, Divesh?
No, yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right. Any
Did
other
we go
question?
through the subtitles example video?
Oh, no, I think not. This is the subtitle.
Yeah, I think we need to go a little bit at the first start of it is all music. Yeah. And the range will let you set the subtitle language, the one more right. Yeah. You can
Yeah,
select different languages if you have generated subtitles in different languages. Uh,
yeah, and the captions you can turn CC on and off as well. Um, we have auto-generated subtitles with Gumlet as well, so that is something that you can use. Cool. So I think that covers the difference between video share and video channel subtitles. Any other questions? Uh, Beautiful landing page for a channel and live streaming page. Sonny, we would love that too. We, in fact, have that in our pipeline. We know that the customization is there is a limit to how much customization is possible on the landing page right now. Uh, uh, Depending on how the use case of it picks up and how the feature requests come in, we will be picking it up, and we will be building it out. If you the channel membership that we had in the last AppSumo last year versus what it looks like this year, it's a complete upgrade, and I'm sure that this is only going to keep getting better and better. Again, if you have any specific things that you would want, give Devesh has dropped a link, feedback.gumlet.com. Just drop your request over there, and we'll keep adding it to our roadmap. Uh, yeah, upcoming webinars link Nisha has shared as well. Warren, I think that is already answered. Uh, yeah, we do upload the videos to YouTube channel, Gabriel, and we also have a webinar tag on our website, and you can see all the videos over there. We will also make sure that once all the webinars are done, we will send all the links to all the AppSumo users who have onboarded this time. Uh, okay, Paul has a question. Are there any issues with performance plugins like WP Rocket and Airlift by Malware? I'm guessing this is for the WordPress plugin. Yeah, I think that is also answered by Devesh.
yeah. So just normal suggestions for everyone. If you do not need security features like dynamic watermark or etc., you don't need to really use WordPress plugin from Gumlet. You can just copy the embed code and uh, paste it in your WordPress. It works just fine. But if you need specific features like dynamic watermarking, and there is maybe a couple other that is listed on the plugin. If you need those specific features, that's the only reason you should use Gumlet's video plugin. Otherwise, just the embed codes are fine.
Another question, import chapters from our NLE. Again, I think Devesh, you answered this already, right? We do have APIs in place to populate chapters.
Uh,
Webinars replay is already done. Yeah, live webinars to YouTube channel is done. Cool. Any other questions?
The main part of the webinar is over, which where we wanted to show the different ways you can customize our video player. So if you have further question, please feel free to stay back and ask us in the chat or unmute and ask. Uh, Very welcome. But if you were just here for player customization, feel free to drop off. The main part of the webinar is over.
Thanks, Paul. Gabriel has a question a little more about dynamic watermarks. Sure, Gabriel. So, watermarking is essentially a tag of any sort that is layered on top of the video while the video is playing. You can assign a lot of different things to what you want to be sure, what you want shown on the watermark. It can be an IP address, it can be a user's email ID, it can be something custom that you want to set, and that is essentially a watermark that is layered on top of the video. The reason why we have normal watermarks as well, and we have dynamic watermarks. And what dynamic watermark essentially does is that the watermark keeps moving as the video progresses. And what that does is that it makes it very difficult for someone who's recording the video to then further share it ahead without getting caught or essentially outing themselves with whatever input that you've added as a watermark, may it be their IP address or their email ID.
So Vaibhav, when you are on Zoom, we see a black screen, so maybe keep the video on a example dynamic watermark thing. So another thing is the dynamic watermark keeps moving. So that's another difference between simple watermark and a dynamic watermark, that a simple watermark can be easily removed by the modern video editing tool, but the dynamic watermark will keep moving to the different places, so you won't be able to uh, edit it out without editing the entire video, which increases the efforts. So the fight against piracy is all about increasing the efforts of people who are trying to pirate things. So yeah, beyond certain point, they would just won't put that much effort. So that way, dynamic watermark is a very simple way to discourage people from screen recording, because if they see that the video has their name mentioned on the screen, then they might be deterred to record it with because of any threat of retribution. So that's one thing. If you want to absolutely prevent screen recording, you can do it with DRM, which is our next webinar, where we would get into how to use DRM to prevent screen recording. So that's a upcoming webinar on Monday.
Lionel has a question. My logo on channel will not update after it says that it has. It reverts back to the original. Um,
Please share
Lionel,
the link in chat. I mean, in
yeah,
support.
Lionel, can you share the link of the channel in either in the chat over here, or just you can, whenever the next time you have logged into Gumlet, you can just go to our support and you can tell them what the issue is, and our team will definitely look into it and help you with it. Cool. Yep, no worries. Any other questions? If you have any questions for Devesh as well, he's the co-founder of Gumlet. So if you have any questions around anything regarding your apps or deals, or around anything at all with Gumlet, we'll be happy to answer. No, I think it looks like we're good.
Yes, we good.
All right, cool. Then thank you so much everyone for joining. We'll share the recording again when all the webinars are done. The next webinar is on video protection. So please join that as well. And yeah, see you in the next one. Sonny has a question. Just posted my review. When am I going to get my reward? Very, very soon. Nisha, in fact, who is on our call right now, is the one who handles all of that, and you should have it very soon. The communication is prompt as well, so you will have the information around your reward very soon. Um, all right. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Thank you so much for trusting us with yours, trusting us with the videos, and we're happy to help. Thank you. Uh, Signing off. Bye.
Thank you very much as well.